Well, for a deeper look at the economic situation in Zimbabwe, let's bring in France 24's business editor, Charles Pellegrin. 5 years after President Mnangagwa took office, the economy is still in dire straits, Charles.
That's right, Erin. One of the major developments over the course of his mandate has been the reemergence of hyperinflation. In 2017, inflation was in the single digits, but it's grown massively since. And in 2023, the government struggled to control what looks like a bit of a roller coaster ride, as you can see there. In August, prices rose 77% annually, but inflation hit a peak, as you can see in June, at a staggering 175%. Inflation is tied, obviously, to the value of the local currency as well. At the start of the year, $1 was worth 796 Zimbabwean dollars at the official rate, while being sold 1,200 Zimbabwean dollars at the black market rate, where it's not subject to currency controls. And in August, well, the value of the Zimbabwean dollar slumped to just over 4,500 US dollars at the official rate and 5,900 US dollars on the black market. In a country where 77% of transactions take place in dollars and many goods are imported, well, this made life especially hard for people. The ZANU-PF leader, Emmerson Mnangagwa, had also promised to fight rampant unemployment, but according to the last available survey that was done around November 2022, only 3.3 million people out of the 9 million people in working age were employed, a situation which has led to mass emigration.
Well, sounds like the economy then is clearly high on the agenda for voters, Charles. So what economic programs are the main candidates running on?
Well, President Emmerson Mnangagwa actually didn't release a particular manifesto detailing his plan, saying instead that the achievements seen during his mandate speak for themselves. He's vaunted the progress made developing new roads, dams, and infrastructure. For example, completely refurbishing the capital's international airport or building a new parliament thanks to Chinese finances. He's also commissioned the country's first lithium processing plant in July after passing a law that bans the export of raw and unprocessed lithium. That move meant to encourage the scaling up of the local mining industry and to create jobs. His main rival, Nelson Chamisa of the Citizens Coalition for Change, detailed his plan in a manifesto called A New Great Zimbabwe. And in it, he promises to scrap the volatile local currency and restore it to one that's trusted and dependable, to take on corruption, provide free primary education, and work towards building a $100 billion exporting economy. The country's GDP currently stands around the $20 billion mark. This would in turn create 2.5 million new jobs within 5 years. Either candidate will have to contend with the isolation of Zimbabwe on the world stage. Mnangagwa is the subject of sanctions by the US and EU, and fresh lines of credit have been frozen for 20 years or so. The country is $18 billion in arrears on its debt, and one of its creditors, the African Development Bank, says a deal on that debt resolution is contingent on these elections being, quote, a credible contest.
We'll see if that ends up being the case. Charles Pellegrin with Business, thank you.